Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about what happens when you want to turn your crystal hobby and passion into a small business. It's not uncommon that people are coming in, they are collectors, they love crystals, and they have an overabundance of stuff, and they're like, hey, what am I going to do with all this stuff, and how am I going to continue to feed my addiction if I don't start getting rid of some of the stuff? And a lot of the times this leads to people starting small businesses. You're hustling, well, you're teaching, and then you're hustling, right? Most people who start small crystal businesses, they're coming from a profession.
Thank you very much. Doing my crystal shop took me out of my miserable full-time job at a hospital.
Let's just say you've been a nurse for the last 20 years, right? You love crystals and you have a bunch and you want to start selling crystals. You may not know much about business and how to start a business and what it takes to all of it. You might have no idea. The first thing is having a budget. You need to know, okay, I have $5,000 that I can spend on setting up this business. And then you need to make sure that you use that money properly. That's number one. One of the things we're going to see people doing first and foremost is probably running to Etsy and starting an Etsy account. For me personally, I don't think that this is the way to go. I mean, it is an option. If you're just a small seller and you really don't have another platform, there's no harm in posting some stuff up on Etsy and hoping that it sells. But if you're an actual business, I think that it's not advantageous to use Etsy because Etsy now puts you in front of the whole world, international dealers that are selling at a fraction of the price you are. If you really seriously want to turn your hobby into a business, you need to do local gem shows. Now, don't think it's advantageous. I don't think you're going to make a bunch of money. You might not even make any money. In fact, you might lose some money. But the experience that you're going to get by showing up and doing small gem shows or trade shows or street fairs, flea market, whatever you can get your hands on, this is where you should start because the experience you're going to gain there, it's so important. You learn things that you would never learn unless you do that kind of stuff. So that's what I did when I started. Yeah, there were days that I showed up to small shows or something and I made literally nothing, paid $100 for a table, let's just say, and lost $100 and whatever fees it cost me to get there. But I definitely learned something in that time period of whatever the show was, whether it was a day or two, that was worth way more than the money that I lost. So that's my first line of thinking. You need to figure out what kind of marketing you're going to do. Are you going to do the street fairs and the flea markets, okay? And if you are, what is your target audience? What is the kind of material that you're going to need in order to cater to the audience where you're going? If you're going to do stuff on Etsy, then I think that what makes the most sense is not trying to compete with the bazillion people that are there, but get yourself some unique specimens, really interesting, cool stuff. Know what they actually are. Give accurate descriptions of things. This is really the leg into the business right now. 99% of people that are in this business right now, they have such little knowledge about the industry and about the material that they're selling that if you can actually make yourself knowledgeable and really know what you have and what you're selling and what you're doing, this is going to give you a huge leg up and probably, I would say, increase your success rate by 25 to 30%. Let's just say now we have our budget, we set our budget, and we're gonna start thinking about getting material, right? If you run into somebody like me who's a wholesale distributor, of course I'm gonna stop and help you. I will answer whatever questions I possibly can and try to guide you in the right direction. Find a vendor, a distributor or a supplier, wholesale distributor that is going to be trustworthy. Finding someone who's reliable and consistent and trustworthy and knows what the hell they're talking about. If you're going to be a retailer, that is like a jackpot situation. And then once you get in bed with a wholesale distributor that really works for you and is helping you to move forward, don't try to change the ingredients in the soup. I always say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So many times I see customers, they come in, they are with me for a year and a half, and then all of a sudden someone messages them on Instagram, offers them some cheap garbage, and they're like, oh my God, this is so cheap. I finally found the direct path. And little do you know, that's not what happened. And you wind up with a bunch of stuff that you're never gonna sell. This is $30 and I'll make this free. Also, another thing is that if you're going to start a small business, social media is extremely important. You need to have a social media presence. Don't just go and just start selling stuff on your social media like you bought some hearts, let's just say crystal hearts, and you're just posting them up. What you need to do is you need to create a presence on social media. You need to show the world who you are and what your value is. Then you can offer them a product. But until you earn the client's trust and attention, you're not selling anything to anybody. So that's number one. Don't just buy stuff and start throwing it up online like, hey, give me money. That's what the client is gonna see from you. So you have to earn people's trust and you have to earn their business. And then when you finally get there and you earn that trust in that business, you then have to maintain it. You have to be honest and you have to be fair and you have to do what's right. taking advantage of people, being dishonest on small level, any of that, all this stuff, it just winds up crippling you in the end. Most of the time I run into people who already have started the business, and guess what they're telling me? Hey, I'm really bad in front of a camera. I'm too shy. Then, you know, you got a problem. My solution to this quote unquote problem is you get out your cell phone, you get a stand, you put it in front of yourself, look at yourself in the phone, and just start talking. And just do that every single day for half an hour, 20 minutes. Just talk and talk until you get comfortable being in front of that phone, in front of the camera, where it becomes like a second nature to you. Like you can talk to a camera like you're talking to a person. One of the tricks that I did, especially in the beginning when I started to figure out how am I going to get comfortable, like really comfortable in front of this camera, is I started to think about the camera as somebody I really care about. So you can do that as well. You can imagine that, okay, who I'm talking to in the camera is somebody that I actually really care about. Me personally, I like Instagram. I think Facebook is kind of in the past, and I think that TikTok is just, fodder, in my personal opinion. But I think that Instagram is the most stable platform right now to build a following. It's also the most difficult one too. So that's my advice is, put time and effort and energy and focus on Instagram right now, because that's the platform. Like anything in life, any endeavor, but since we're talking about business, I'm going to be addressing business, but it applies across the board. When you run into difficulty or obstacles, those are the challenges of anything in life. And most people, they hit that wall and they just walk backwards. And then there's the people that hit the wall and find a way to get past it, over it, through it. And this is what it is. Running a business is not always going to be like sunshine and rainbows. It's going to be really, really hard at certain times, and only the strong survive. That is the truth, not giving up when things are tough. This is the real secret ingredient to the soup, is having discipline. This is what in my career, it's just been like this, and knowing that, okay, it's not always going to be ideal and the best. There's going to be hard times. That's the way life is. If you can address those hard times with confidence and certainty and the consciousness of, I'm going to get through this, I'm going to get past this, this is just a blip, then I think that you're working with a really good recipe for success. And this is, I guess, all that I can really offer here in this video. Anyway, I love you guys. Hope you had fun. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time.